Hi guys and girls and people of HIMA, welcome to this workshop of After Effects. Today you're with me, Khalifa dari PEDEM 2020, and I'm going to teach you how to set your hand on fire, which is very cool. So let's get right into it. So first of all, what you need are some footages, and in this case I have myself flicking my wrist, set stuff on fire. Very cool. And you'll also need some fire effects, and you can search them up easily from YouTube and Google by searching up fire VFX like this. And here is After Effects. Very cool. Okay, so this is what you be mostly greeted with, and here's the source panel, I guess, like your project panel. And here is like the viewer, and everything is like the timeline, and here's some of the tools, and I'll be going over them one by one when I'll be covering them. And okay, to start, we'll be dragging our footage here. So in this case, I'm gonna be drag and dropping my I guess like itself. And to make a composition, you drag this clip and you put it on this box, and that will make a composition here. Cool. You can preview it here. And in this case, I want to separate the clip with our hand so that it's a little bit much more easier for us to track the motion of my hand. So, and I want to like separate it by I guess like the sound of the flick, and to see the audio waveform itself, we can do double L, and that will bring up this waveform thing. As you can see, here's the click, and I'll be separating this clip by Ctrl-Shift-D. Remember that shortcut for trimming. And I also would want to like trim the video to right about here, and you can do that by Alt square bracket, and you can also do the same thing with the front bracket, as you can see there, but we're not going to use that. And since all of this is not used, we can trim our work area by dragging this blue thing over here. And if you're absolutely sure that you're not going to use the full length of your composition, you can trim the composition to the work area by right-clicking the work area, and then here, trim, comp to work area. Cool. Now we have this clip that we can work with. Now let's drag our fire VFX. And in this case, I'll be using this for drag and drop. And make sure you also make a folder for it. Not so necessary, but it's very good to be organized. The effects, and I'll be putting all of it in here. Cool. Okay, now we can drag and drop our footage to our composition, and there we go. Now in this case, our fire footage is all black, and don't worry, it's fine. It's actually super good because we can change the blending mode here to screen, which removes all of that black, and we get a very nice fire. And you can move that over here. And if you don't see the blending mode here, you can toggle it here, expand or collapse the transfer control panel over this button, and that will show you the blending mode. Cool. Now we also want to adjust the fire just a little bit. So what you can do, in this case I want to scale it down a little bit so that it's not so big. You can press on S, and that will bring up the scaling tool, and you can scale it with this. Very nice. We also kind of want to rotate it a little bit, and to rotate it you press R. But before we rotate it, we also need to consider the anchor point of this fire. So if we start rotating it right here, as you can see, it's rotating it from the anchor point, and the anchor point is where I guess like the most of like the transformation is anchor to, and we want to change it like to here. The way we can do that is using this I guess like pan behind tool, and then that will pan behind the anchor point so that we can drag it over here. Very cool. And now we can start rotating it a little bit. Oh, and over here. There you go. Very nice. Now it's not tracked yet, as you can see. The footage is there, but it's not tracked. So the way we track it is by creating a new null object first. So you can create new null object by right clicking, and then go to new, and then go to null object. And we created our null object here. We're gonna also put it over here. Now we're gonna track the footage, which is very cool. You can go to tracker, and if you don't see this option, you can go to window to tracker, and then you can place it over here. Now select the footage that you want to track, and then go ahead and track motion. It will bring up this menu here, and what this basically is, it's basically tracking. The inner ring is tracking for pixel information, and the outer ring is for tracking the reference on which it should be tracking, I guess. In this case, I want to track it over here, and you also want to keep in mind that you want to track stuff that has high and low contrasting points. So like in here, we have dark and bright areas, and we want to track that. Okay. Now to start analyzing the track, you can press this button here, and then it will slowly but surely track our footages. It might take a long time to track, depending on the quality of your footage. And in this case, it's going very slowly. Now you can pause this I guess like tracking thing to make little adjustments if whenever necessary. So like in that case, that was good. Usually your tracking isn't like super good, and you need to like tweak it a little bit, and we can like keep continuing it and adjusting as we please. This will take time. I guess like the only thing about like After Effects is the fact that it's very slow. Well, it depends on whatever you're doing. I recommend for like hardware, you start at least with 16 gigabytes of RAM, because it takes a lot of RAM. Once you're over I guess like pro level or like intermediate level, you can upgrade your hardware to like 32 gigabytes, because 16 gigabytes, trust me, it's not enough. And there you go, tracking finished. Okay, now that the tracking's done, you can press apply, and then we want to apply the dimensions for X and Y. Press OK, and there you go, we have our tracking. And make sure that our null is also tracked. There we go. And as you can see here, if we preview it here, our null is following our hand, and it is good. Now what you want to do is parent this file to the null so that it also inherits the properties of the null. In this case, it's a transform. Now it's tracked and my hand is on fire. Now we also want to like add a little bit more fire effects. In this case, I'll be adding a few here. And we can also adjust that to screen, adding it here, and then scaling it a little bit over here. rotating it as well. It depends also on your clip. You can adjust it however you want. If you feel that it lacks like a little bit of touch, you can adjust it to how it you please. Let's play that. It's not tracked yet, so make sure you put it on whatever you want to track, and then you can pick with this to the note. There you go. I have my hand on fire. I'll probably put another one on the back of my hand. And also make sure you put that, pan it to the note. You can use it from here, or you can also do it from here. There you go, very nice. Now, to add a little bit of pizzazz, we also want to, I guess, like add a little bit of glow to our clips, to our file to be exact. And in this case, you can put effects from the effects panel here. Whoa, give me a second. Effects panel here, and then in this case, I'll be putting glow to add a little bit of glow to our clip, and you can adjust it however you want. In this case, I'll be putting the radius all the way super high. What you can also do is install a plugin called Video Copilot, and in here you can press Ctrl space to access the effects super easily, and I can add another glow to this clip. And in this case, I'll be adding curves, and you can drag each I guess like effects like Photoshop in terms of like layers, and it determines on I guess like which effects is gonna be processed first. So in this case, the curve is gonna be processed first, and then the glow, and then and I want to apply all of this effects to my other I guess like fire. You can do so by copy and pasting each of them to every fire that you have here. Okay, cool. And now you have fire. Play this here. Very cool. I'll also be adjusting the rotation a little bit. As you can see, like the fire here is so still, and you can do that over here. And I want to change the rotation a little bit, so press R, and right before it wants to turn, I'll be keyframing this. So using this clock here, I can set a keyframe, and then moving my timeline so that I can change the rotation a little bit over here. So as it's moving to the left, I guess like the right, it goes a little bit more to the right. And then when it finally goes to the left here, I can change the keyframe a little bit to here. You can change this however you want again. But that's generally how you keyframe. It looks just a little bit more natural. Now to add a final touch, I'll be adding an adjustment layer. So you can right click, new, and then adjustment layer. And then in this adjustment layer, you can put curves, or if you're more fanatic to coloring, so I'll get curves. And in this case, I'll also be adding hue and saturation. Now I'm setting this to colorize, and that gives us a very like red color. I don't want that. But we do want the red though. This is so that I'm gonna put this here, and I guess I think I'm gonna be shifting this here a little bit to the left. And then I want to change the opacity of it, so you press T for opacity and changing it here. I'll be setting also a keyframe for it to 3%. Keyframe here. So as we gradually raise our hand, it's gonna turn a little bit more and more yellowish until the fire comes up. There you go, very nice. That is how you set your hand on fire. Thank you for watching and stay safe. Do not play with fire. Bye guys.